Have you put your prices up recently? Or are you in that place of thinking that you kind of secretly know that you really ought to, but you're feeling very nervous? Is this the right time to do it? Are people going to think you're being too greedy? Will you lose customers? Will people judge you? Is it going to damage your business if you put your prices up? Honestly, I think that pricing and putting your price up is one of the most emotive and most challenging areas of growing a business. I think there's so much of ourselves that we kind of wrap into our pricing that we can make it really awkward for ourselves. Now, this year especially, there is so much craziness going on in the world at the moment that it would be really easy to say, this just isn't the right time to increase my price. But honestly, there will always be a million different reasons why now isn't really quite the right time to put your price up. If we look for them, we can always talk ourselves out of it, and we can take the easy route and not put those prices up. But by doing that, we, without a shadow of a doubt, we limit the growth of our business, we potentially limit the profitability, and we limit the future potential that we have. So I think the first thing to say is that increasing your price is not about fleecing anybody or bleeding people dry or getting as much as humanly possible out of your customers. It's just about charging a fair price for the service that you deliver. It's about the recognition for what you deliver and making sure that those two things match. So I wanted to share some tips with you today about how to take away some of that emotion and how to make a start with price increases, particularly if it's something that you're really terrified of, to help you get a little bit further down that path. So my first tip is to understand that the only person responsible for the pricing of your business is you. It's not about circumstances, it's not about other people, it's actually about you taking real ownership of your business, your decisions, your strategy, understanding what's right for the business, being brave, being bold, and making those decisions with a real solid business hat on. So step one is kind of take the ownership of it and understand that it's all down to you to make this decision. Don't be dictated to by other people or by other circumstances. Just stick to your strategy, stick to your guns. The second thing to think about is it will always be much easier to increase your price for a new customer than it is for an existing customer. Now, a new customer might know about your pricing, but if they haven't bought yet, they haven't got any kind of contract yet, so they have no right to that pricing. So even if they knew the price and now the price has gone up, that's a bit unfortunate, but that's the way of the world. An existing customer obviously is already on a price plan, so suddenly you're changing things by changing the price for an existing customer. So it's definitely easier to change your price for new customers rather than existing ones. So if you are feeling nervous, that's your easiest place to start. Focus on increasing prices for the next customer and the next customer and those lovely new ones that come in. And then the other thing to think about is that you don't have to necessarily go all in. So if you're really nervous about a price increase, and particularly if you're just not quite sure where you should be pricing yourself, if you feel like you're probably quite a lot too low, but you feel really nervous about putting your price up to where you think it should be, then you can do that in a series of increments. So it might be that the next customer that comes in, you increase your price. Who knows what your pricing is, but let's say you put 50 quid onto your price for the next new customer. And you gauge the reaction to that. And if the reaction is, if there is no reaction and they're just happy as Larry and sign straight up, then perhaps you put £50 on for the following customer and the one after that. And essentially what you're looking to do is just gauge the response that you get. Now, what I would say is somebody somewhere should always be telling you you're too expensive, because there will always be a certain number of people who buy solely on price. They're just looking for a deal. They're just looking for a bargain. So actually, you want those people to be telling you you're too expensive, because if they're not, that's a definite sign that you're way too cheap. So if you do go for that incremental approach, don't panic the first time somebody suggests that you're too expensive. That's just telling you that you're getting somewhere near the right mark. But you can see there's a couple of ways there where you can dip a toe in the water around price increases without feeling like you're putting your whole business on the line or kind of throwing everything into the ring. But you can just get started. You can prove to yourself that it's easy, that it doesn't create catastrophe, that customers still love you even when you're charging what you ought to be charging compared to giving it away for peanuts, as you might well be doing at the moment. So hopefully that's given you some ideas about how to think about your pricing as we go forward this year. I would be more than happy to hear back from you how this resonates with you. So let me know in the comments or fire back an email about how this actually links with you and your own kind of ideas around pricing. And of course, please feel free to share this video with anybody else who you think would benefit from it. Thank you.